Haslai absent. Approval of the meeting minutes from April 3rd.
Austin Cool make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from April 3rd, 2025.
Ware will second. I have a motion and a second to approve the meeting minutes from April 3rd, 2025. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, the same. Motion carried. Citizen input and public comment for anything not on the agenda. Project oversight and updates.
Well, I really don't have a whole lot. I signed the contract for the crack filling and chip seal, and they will probably be in about August-ish to do that with the town of Portland also. Portland, they do us and them at the same time.
Yep,
They're
yep,
separate contracts, it's just.
yep.
And then Donner's Construction is gonna do Hendrick Street. We're waiting for a pre-construction meeting with them. There's tentative to start mobilizing the equipment the last week of June. But we haven't, that's no, nothing set in stone yet, but.
Sounds good. Anything else? Seeing none.
Who's doing the sidewalks? Is that a whole different, is that?
Oh, yeah, that's, Cart Tetchner.
And then include when they're doing that, because that's gonna be completely separate, or are they gonna do that in conjunction because they're all
Well,
concrete
they're-
sidewalks do?
I'm assuming they'll probably do it with, and around Hendrick Street because they're a sub to Donner's Incorporated for the asphalt.
Okay.
But that's an assumption.
Part of the pre-construction might be included, so that maybe, okay. Thank you.
Anything else, Chad?
I don't think so.
All right. Unfinished business, none listed. Any commentary? That should be on there for any other time. New business, Public Works job description, parks and seasonal for comparison. Admittedly, I didn't take the time necessary to deal with this. I had some distractions this last week.
Well, I can make some comments.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
I think, did you have any too, Charlie, you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mentioned something to Richard.
Okay.
Sent him some feedback.
Yeah, this is likely gonna go to personnel, so we can,
Correct.
where it probably should be more vetted.
And that's where it should with the parks too.
Correct.
But each committee should take a look at it, just in case there's anything you wanted to add to it. So knowing that when Chad first got hired, the actual job description that we had said draft. Yeah, it stayed that way after all these years, so we're a little behind getting it caught up.
Well, yeah, that was something that was mentioned at my annual review was the
Correct.
job description, and it got brought up. I said, I've never seen one
Right, other than when you were first hired, which was,
back in 2010 for a
Right,
DPW worker 3 position.
right,
No, and that's what prompted this here.
right. So I've just got a few things, only because like some of this stuff, it just was odd in the physical thing. The one you guys gave me is different than this one, so there's a little bit more to it in the physical and the environment and stuff like that.
The
So,
essential duties.
yeah. Oh, no, actually, it's the last page. Essential duties is one. I got a couple of things that I'd like to tweak on that. But then just even the physical demands, environment and stuff, you and Gabe kind of had some weird things strictly about tools and equipment used. Heavy machinery for necessary, it's on page 2. Phone system, personal computer, word processing, spreadsheet, copy, postage, and fax. So that's kind of odd. That's like more emphasis on office than it is really anything else. So I too have not had a whole lot of time to go through this, so on Monday, since you'll be with me, I'd like to go through just a couple of my notes, see what you think.
Okay.
And then maybe have Sarah type it up, since with Gabe, I talked to him about it, just, it's nothing major, but then have Sarah kind of doctor them up, and then send them to personnel. And that way, if there's any other changes from there, we can tweak those, but it's nothing crazy, but just adding a few more details.
Yep.
Though the only other question then will be, Gabe does have the seasonal workers in his and out of yours, so we have to have that conversation come budget time. which is coming right around the corner.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, that seemed like a completely separate job description, which is fine, but.
well, those, we do have those job descriptions as well for the seasonal workers, the part-time, or excuse me, the worker, I think it's 2 and 3 or 1 and 4 or something like that. Plus we got an assistant position, so I want to get them all done. So it might not happen overnight, but we'll get her.
You know, it's got a couple months before we don't get to afford much time
I know.
due to budget.
I will be
Deliberation.
ready.
I guess I will make a motion to refer this to Personnel and Finance Committee.
You can, so do you want to take up your comments then there, or do you want to let me know? Do you want me to put something in here, Charlie? You said you mentioned something to Richard already.
Yeah, it's in regards to like best safety practices,
Okay.
whether we do annual training and making sure that
Okay.
certifications, whatever it
OSHA thing
is,
was in there.
whatever it is, I think there should be something notated in there that, to make sure that the responsibility of maintaining safe work practices are on somebody's plate.
Yeah, the OSHA thing was in there, the training thing was in there, I think you
I'm sure
coordinated that with
compliance
Barry.
with safety rules, regulations, training federal for OSHA and DSPS regulations.
Okay, I didn't see that copy I was looking at, so I don't know if I got.
There was a couple floating around, but the
Yeah,
one
I'm
that's
not
in
sure
the
which one I
packet
got.
is a little bit
That's-
different than the one I had, so I gotta go through it too, so that's okay. So it should be in there, so if we need to tweak it, we will.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Austin Cool, second.
I have a motion and a second to refer this to Finance and Personnel Committee. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, the same. Motion carries. Resolution 2025-24, rescinding Resolution 2025-08 due to Highway 19 start date change. Are we gonna need to,
So I'm the one that requested this based off of conversations that I had with the DOT and stuff, and Chad was part of those conversations as well. So being that it's moved out to 2033, which is 8 years from now, this said it was for 2031. So since that project isn't happening, we're just rescinding it because it isn't happening, and it's for, Charlie and I had that conversation, we lose paper trails of things, so this way at least it's clean. That's not to say this won't change again in 2033, but we're already discussing the whole urban crossway, because I won't sign the agreements until they get that straight, because they got us listed at 6.8 miles. We are not paid for 6.8 miles. It's very goofy how they did the whole project from Quick Trip to Crawfish, whatever, some road.
Crawfish River.
Yeah.
Bridge,
So they have that little section of Highway 19 costing us $2.3 million, but 89, which is twice as long, is under $1 million. That makes no sense.
They didn't break down any cost estimates or something. Nothing. Like, you didn't give us no line items or nothing. All it said was curb, gutter, sidewalk.
Right.
and that was
Making
it.
it an urban
Making
cross-section.
an urban cross-section for $2.2 million,
Yeah.
and then $80,000 for, that's the only thing they broke out with utility height adjustments on bell boxes and manholes.
Yeah.
well, they should have the stationing figured out, you should be able to figure out, like, that can't be 2.8 miles.
No,
Or
it's,
did you say
correct, it's
six?
the whole stretch. So they didn't break it out just to Waterloo section. We're about a mile.
But that's not even 6 miles, even from
It
the
goes
quick
in.
trip
City's
to.
not 6 miles.
No, it's 6
No,
miles, it's
no.
6 miles from Quick Trip to Alton.
Right, that's
Oh,
the
they're all going all the
whole
way to Holton, I thought it was,
stretch.
oh,
And
No.
then there,
So they
I
didn't,
meant right to Monticello River.
and we were only gonna do an urban cross-section to industrial.
Industrial.
So the rest of the road from industrial to Hyle is nothing. We're not doing anything to it. That's all there.
That's all gonna
So
remain
we're
rural.
literally just that half mile, whatever little section, plus there's already curb and gutter there. That may not be
Parts of it.
drainage, but there's parts of it.
small portion.
Right, so.
It's probably not gonna fit the plan and profile to remain in place.
Yeah, they've gotta look at it again, we're gonna requote the whole thing, Ben's gonna look at it again, Mitch, I mean, we've now got a few more years to worry about that. So just to make this clean, that's all it is.
And it might end up costing that in that amount
And
of
it
time.
might. But we can
If we-
decide whether we wanna make it an urban cross-section or leave it alone.
If
Or
we
throw
decide
in
to
a
do it.
sidewalk between now and then, and don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I mean, we can leave the highway in place the way it is, and they tear it up, replace it on their dime and put a utility underneath. That's
Right.
different conversations, but it's 8 years away.
I could plead a case for a 10-foot blacktop path to,
Yeah.
That too?
I mean, just outside of a urban cross-section,
Mm-hmm.
just have a multi-use path.
Right. So I'm all for revisiting this down the road, but it isn't anything we need to do right now.
So what is this resolution?
All it is just canceling the project, basically, from 2031, because it's getting moved out.
Yeah.
33.
So when we were all talking, that spreadsheet that's in your packet, one of the things that we just weren't good at over the years is keeping track of everything. So this spreadsheet now changes things. Well, the spreadsheet has all the road projects and everything on it, including some of the paths and everything else, and it just moves this out. So all this is just saying that 2031 isn't happening, has nothing to do with any engineering or anything. You could have said Kunkel, that makes no difference. We're just simply saying it's not happening, therefore this resolution is dead, and now we're moving it to 2033. That's all it is.
It just buries the old resolution, the 08, 2508, was it?
Correct, yes. 2025, okay.
Yeah.
Yep, that's all, and that's in the resolution. That's all it is. Just rescinding it.
Sounds good.
Take care.
Austin Cool make a motion to approve resolution 2025-24, rescinding resolution 2025-08.
Ware will second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Back up to 2025, resolution 2025-25, CORRE Incorporated proposal for bridge rehab. I think this is the engineering, we've had this bridge inspected, and now they've come up with a cost of engineering and bid preparation for getting those repairs completed. What I don't recall is if we were able to put something in the budget. If we did, I don't recall it.
I don't think we did.
My recollection, we did not put anything in the budget. We had the bridge inspection done back in June-ish. So originally, can't remember you guys' name. Originally, they said the design work was gonna be $4,900 and then $15,000 to $20,000 for bridge repairs. He did not include this $5,200 for bid letting. And this also does not include construction inspection, so we could be, I mean, we can watch them do, I can watch them do the work, but we could potentially be spending $25,000 to $30,000 on this project, which I don't know where we get the money from this year.
So that's a matter of, since we haven't gone out for a loan yet, do we want to do that? Do we want to see what other funds we have available? We did this back in August. We had those massive pictures
Yep.
of all of this stuff. And in there, they talked that the estimate was $4,900. Final cost would be adjusted on the scope and needs should the city choose to use their engineering services. Well, they didn't reduce it when they did it on here on the engineering services. So the design and everything's still exactly the same. But that
And
doesn't pay for anything. That's just,
That's just getting it out for bids, or
right.
getting the plans, putting it out for bids, and then I would assume we would have bid opening here, just like we would come with Comco, and then
Originally, this Andrew said in an email in January that design fee and estimate could also potentially be lowered based on their involvement, but the contract for the structural repairs is anywhere from 15 to 20,000. So on top of this 10, so worst case, we're looking at $30,000 total, which is no drop in the bucket.
No.
Jewel gave us a quote back in 2024, so this has been going on for a while. So their inspection fees were cheaper, but we don't know exactly what their design and everything else was. Did you ever get them to,
No, I never did email it.
because I mean, Jewel could just simply bid on the project, right? Because
They're
CORRE
just-
isn't doing it.
Jewel is the same as CORRE, they're just an engineering company.
Oh, okay.
That was, Jewel was the company that Mitch recommended, so we were gonna go with them to do the inspections. Well, then Brian Dovich from Jefferson County recommended these, so they prepared that report for nothing, but wanna charge us this 10-1 to do the engineering and the bid of it.
So we've not paid them anything yet.
No, we're not out any dollar yet.
So,
It's been sitting on my
but did
desk.
you get a hold of Jewel to find out what they would charge for the design and bid letting?
No, I did not.
I think that's what we need to do.
Do an RFP for it, should so.
Well, isn't this the tricky thing? There's just not a whole lot of people out here that do it.
What do you, the engineering or the bridge work?
I think, is it just the engineering in general? I think that's why we got Jewel from Mitch, because that's the only one he was aware of.
Yeah, and then-
Brian
and then
Udovich gave
CORRE.
us this one.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
It is, and it really seems expensive
For that
to
lease.
prepare the bid documents for $5,200.
It's a
Yeah,
little
what I thought.
steep, and to answer questions. That's, I like the idea of going to RFP. So can we not work directly with a company that would actually fix it? Like, do they not do engineering on
Yeah,
top of?
yeah, design build doesn't really fit state law.
Right,
Okay.
just trying to see where we can cut some monies out.
I mean, Jewel on what, $5,000 just to come look at it.
They have services, a lump sum inspection, 3,400.
Wasn't a price for one bridge and a price for the other bridge.
We've got a lump sum for inspection or another one. We've got two different things on here, but service agreement. Assumptions, compensation, 1 month. I don't know what the difference is, why we got one and two lumps. This is all I got.
I can check in with Jewel on Monday and see what they would say. We can call them.
But you did do, you signed this on February
That's-
16th.
That's because you guys approved me to go out with Jewel then, and then once you were talking with Brian Dovich, we rescinded it. And
Okay.
then we went with this.
So the 1 or 2 pedestrian and structures, that's what that is. So if we're
Yeah.
inspecting 1 bridge or 2 bridge. So 1 bridge inspection was 2,800. So we got it inspected for free from CORRE.
But now they want to charge us this.
Yeah. So we don't need another inspection, now we need drawings and bid.
Plan sets and bid documents.
Okay.
Bid list.
Yeah, is there such a thing as going out for an RFP in this thing, for bridge inspection, or not inspection, just bid and design?
RFP for design. Sure they're gonna wanna do their own inspection.
We're not under any pressure to get it done this year.
No, that's another thing too. I mean, it's just
It's,
getting.
it's not getting any better, put it that way.
Right, but-
Right,
We can RFP it and have a better idea for budget time on
right.
where the costs are gonna lay and how they.
Since next year we have no projects, we can put this right in the budget. It's like we did the parking lot, you know? But
Yeah, I
there were
think-
people there and,
Nope.
these are different bridges.
No, we know we have similar bridges.
Do you have little walk bridges kind of thing?
Yeah. I think we just buy them. They just, I can look into it.
Let's see.
It's-
Fine.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, if everybody's okay not doing anything, just let's continue to get more quotes and more estimates and see what we can do and plan to budget for it for next year. So
long as it's not falling in the water, keep your cones up another year.
We just drill them into the pavement so people that drive vehicles across them. Or a visual deterrent, if you can drive across it, if you're the one which is plastic.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll make a motion to defer resolution 2025-25 until we have more information or a better decision about how to proceed.
Austin, cool, second.
A motion and a second to defer resolution 2025-25 for accepting CORRE's proposal.
So I just email CORRE back and tell them at this point we don't have money in the budget, we'll continue working on this project.
Right, and simply just let them know that it's pretty damn expensive.
Seems pricey.
Yeah. Is there anything you can do to lower it?
And we might find that this is a good price.
It very well could, yeah.
I mean, what would Mitch charge to put together drawings and documents if that was a special?
That's what Mitch deferred us to
Because
Jules.
he doesn't do that.
No, I know, he does do that, but
I thought
not,
he didn't.
wait, but not for that. The process is the same, it doesn't matter what it is. Putting together bid documents is putting together
Oh,
bid
yeah, bid
documents.
documents isn't a problem.
So,
It's
but
whole
the design kinda is too.
Yeah.
It's just all engineering. If he did that kind of work, ask him the question, if you did this kind of work, do these seem like reasonable prices? And he may or may not have an answer, but $6,000 to put big docs together, I don't know if a principal is doing it, you're probably $100 and a half an hour for a principal. Divide that out, does that get you a week and a half of work, 2 weeks of work maybe? Should that take 2 weeks of work to put together EJCDC bid documents? Seems a little stiff in my opinion, but let's bounce that off of our known people that we use all the time and just give it the smell test, you know? So I have a motion and a second to, I went through that. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. What do we got? I gotta go back to the top. So future street and sidewalk work must be a discussion. I don't know if we're wholesale changing sidewalks, do we want to consider 5-foot sidewalks as an industry standard?
What do we do now?
We do 4.
Fours. I mean, we can talk about that in the future, but I would like to have that as a discussion, especially for wholesale changing roads.
Yeah?
It's a market difference. You walk around on sidewalks, it's very noticeable. Problem is, so much of the time, there's an encroachment of the pavement by the grass.
Yeah.
So you're losing 3 to 4 inches on each side, so you're really down to 3.5 feet or less of walking area, so.
Yeah, I mean, if you walk East Madison Street, you'll find from one of the, from the bridge here, out to your place and back, I think you'll find 4 or 5 different sidewalks.
Yep.
Dimensions for width,
So, Middleton, we are at 5 feet as a standard.
Unfortunately, a lot of our areas can't even do 2 sidewalks, let alone.
Well, there's a lot of areas that have it.
I can, yeah, in some areas I can see it, but that's also just more money to.
Yep, and that's why we need to have a discussion.
Yeah, that's fine.
So this is in here just to show you, Chad is doing like the Pazer, if you will, on all of these things. The roof is on the other side, and I don't know if we've looked at them again. I think we might be okay on everybody's.
The last roof I was on was the trailhead, and that's the oldest one that we have. And that,
Isn't that?
there's getting some work done on it to seal some of the problem areas up, and at some point that roof will have to get replaced.
Yeah, so we probably should take a look at that at some point here and figure out how much time we got left and what that's gonna cost.
Yeah, I
It's been a
think
pain
Gabe,
since the beginning.
I think Gabe has a engineering report on that.
Okay.
That came through parks.
So it is being repaired now? Or will be?
He said the individuals are supposed to come out this week, I think, to fix it, but I haven't seen them there, so. He's been
City
dealing with
Hall
that.
should be good, fire department, I think it's fine, is there some metal room?
Yeah, so.
Yeah, so that's about the only thing we did really look at was that, but everything else on the paths and all of that good stuff, so it's just stuff to consider as we're looking at different road projects and stuff, wherever we need to combine anything or what we're missing yet. Just more of an update along with the utility project, because that is not posted, so if this is a go, Gina can post it. You haven't posted this yet, DPW or anything?
You need a motion on that?
I would think so, yeah. So we went through this again, Lana, Chad, Barry, Charlie. And again, that doesn't mean things can't move, but right now, obviously, the two DOT ones are firm. Everything this year is firm. We're talking Van Buren's before the highways, Maple after the highway, 89. And then we got a few years in there of 30, 31, and 32 to kind of figure out,
See how things are.
see how things are. Yeah. So if you're okay with that plan, we can just at least have it on the website so people can see it.
Sure. I'll make a motion to approve the City of Waterloo Road and utility out-year project plan spreadsheet and publish that as necessary.
Austin Cool, second.
A motion is second to approve the Waterloo road plan. All in favor, aye? Aye. All opposed, the same. Motion carried. Calendar, May. Update the calendar. Tour the facilities, we're gonna tour the wastewater treatment plant
Next
week.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Spring facility report, which is basically what we were just talking about with the roads and all that stuff. So, see where we're at.
Austin Cool, make a motion to adjourn.
Where will second? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
We are adjourned, thank you.
Jody is on vacation. Meeting minutes approval of April 17th. Are there any additions or corrections?
Austin Cool, make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from April 17th, 2025.
Cummings will second.
Motion by Austin Poole, second by Cummings to approve the meeting minutes of April 17th. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Citizen input for anything not on the agenda?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, I'm back. This is briefly about chickens. I just wanted some clarification about one of the rules that we, put into, and I think I emailed you, I just didn't get a
did.
response, which is why I am here today.
Right.
So I was contacted by a resident who got a license and was confused about one of the rules in there. And it was one of the carryover rules from Juneau, and specifically, it's about, there'll be a height minimum of 5 feet for all fencing. So the more I thought about this, the more it made sense that we probably shouldn't have that rule and just not enforce it, because we require enclosed runs here in Waterloo, whereas Juneau does not. So that's where that 5-foot fence comes into play. Whereas if they didn't have a top on it, that's why they required a minimum of 5 feet fencing. And basically, here, I'll hand out this, you can pass this around. There are prefabricated coops that are not 5 feet tall, but are fully enclosed. That's kind of why this rule, why I'm coming here today, is because these technically I don't think will be allowed, because they don't have a 5-foot fence. But I don't know if you would consider that a fence or if that is a wall.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm here seeking clarification. And if you do consider that as a fence, the walls of the enclosure, then I would ask that city council either look at removing that rule in the future and not enforcing it currently, just not enforcing it altogether. So that, you know, this is from another citizen. I kind of overlooked it because my own personal chicken run is more than 5 feet, so it's not something I really thought about too much when we were discussing this previously, so that's why I'm here.
So just say that one more time, so it'd be open versus,
So Juneau does not enforce enclosed runs, so they can have an open top, and that is why they have the 5-foot minimum. Whereas here in Waterloo, we require them enclosed, so, something like that is fully enclosed, but it doesn't meet that 5-foot minimum. And then that 5-foot minimum is for, so chickens don't jump over it.
oh, gotcha.
If it doesn't have a
Got it.
top on
It's
it.
height.
But since we
Got it.
enclose them, that really doesn't apply to us as much.
I think that,
That's just kind of an oversight.
that 5 foot, I think was just the fence they were talking. The way I understood it,
In
going
Juneau?
around it. No, for us here.
So you're saying you do not think something like that should be allowed?
No, that's
even though it's
fine.
fully enclosed?
The fence, I thought, had to be a minimum of 5 feet.
But they don't really need a fence, because they're
Right.
saying that
Right.
they
If that is just sitting in their yard,
That's fine.
okay.
I got no
So
problem
you would
with that.
consider that does not have a fence?
That's fine.
So that rule does not apply?
I just
Correct.
thought
Okay.
if you had a fence coming out around there,
Okay, so if there is any type of fence, regardless of whether it's enclosed or not, it should be 5 feet, is that what you're saying?
well, if you want to get around there and clean up the chicken shit and stuff like that.
But the chickens won't even be, like, they're always in the coop anyway. You know, that's what I'm saying, that 5-foot fence is just kind of like, it got carried over and I just don't think it should be there,
Well,
so.
we can't answer everything now because it's just public.
I just wanted to bring it
And
to
I
a-
just sent them the email.
Okay,
'Cause I-
okay, good to know.
Yeah,
So-
and I didn't hear back from you, so I'm like, oh, maybe they didn't care, maybe they found something else, and so I said, here, just in case you
Okay.
need this, if you come back, and there you are.
Yeah.
I just sent it an hour ago.
Okay,
Yeah, so
Okay.
we'll look at it, and then if we gotta make any modifications to that, we can certainly do
okay.
that.
Should I come back to the city council meeting or?
It
public
would
health and
definitely,
safety?
I don't think it needs to go back to public health and
No.
safety, I think it's just more of a clarification.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
We
but
can
this
see
one's
if
all
we can look at it
enclosed.
for the next council meeting.
Okay,
in 2
perfect,
weeks.
I will come back.
If that's,
Thank you.
definitely if it's holding people up from continuing.
Well, they just want to make sure they're following the rules, you know, so,
And
and that's why I'm
I
seeking
appreciate that.
clarification,
Yeah, yeah.
so.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Sounds good,
Thank you.
No problem. All right, so meeting summary from the last council, planning commission, that's actually 6A below, library, Sarah?
Yes, so was not able to attend, but I did get the meeting minutes, and they discussed the financial report, county dollars, the budget, what we will be getting from Dodge and Dane, Waukesha County, so, and Jefferson dollars. It shows that there will be less, and then Dodge, Dane, and Waukesha will be more, so that's more to come. And then Tracy Grant was appointed the Jefferson County Council for 3-year term, beginning May 1st. Cindy and Susan both stayed on the board for 3 more years, or 3 more term, 3-year. We discussed policies, and then Bridges got a grant for $2,000 to install keyless entry on both the community room and the staff entrance door, and discuss some bylaws.
Yeah, and below we have a resolution updating the library board because of that change, so thank you.
Mayor? Are you guys here for anything that's not on the agenda?
6A,
Something that's on the agenda?
yeah,
Okay.
that's why I ignored them, because I remember.
Well, you,
I knew what they were here for.
I just didn't want to outpace
I
what
appreciate
we're
that.
doing here.
I knew why they were here. But thank you. All right, thanks, Sarah. Fire EMS, I don't know if we have any updates, no one's here. Public safety was canceled, public works, Richard.
We looked at the job descriptions and we referred them to Personnel and Finance Committee. We rescinded the,
Yep, below.
yep, that's coming here, I think.
Yep.
And the CORRE we deferred. So that won't be going anywhere tonight. We're gonna take a little more time to research that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, new business, ordinance 2025-07, as Sarah just mentioned. So Jefferson County, this is all on them. I have no idea what started it. I never heard anything about it. All of a sudden, one day I read it, the next thing you know, I got an email saying, hey, we're putting somebody in there. So for whatever reason, Jefferson County decided that they're going to be appointing people to all the municipal libraries. So everybody, I think some of them even got 2 people. So I kind of got a list in here, but they did all of this, begins May 1st, and it goes to May 1st of 2028, so it's a 3-year term. So all I did was just update ours from the 7 to 8, and added that the one Jefferson County appointed representative, so that it's clear why it's on here.
So we have no idea why the county board wants to appoint a representative to our library
All the
board.
municipal
All of
them.
libraries,
Sure.
not just ours, it's all of them.
It doesn't make any difference.
No, I have no idea,
I'm sure it's because of the funding.
possibly. I mean, that would
It's
make
a
sense.
shared, it's a shared funding, so
Yeah.
they want a hand in the,
Right.
in the
But
decisions.
we also have Dodge that deals with us and Dane that deals with us, so.
And we don't have
No
any-
idea if they're ever gonna do anything, but, yeah, it wasn't anything that got sent to us, no municipal update, hey, we're doing this, county's looking at that, I have no idea where this came from. It
This is
could very well
city
been the
money,
Bridges, you got your
social
own.
I don't
Sheriff-
believe so.
Sheriff's Department.
I don't think
We
it
don't
came
have
from.
But doesn't
representatives on their
Art
board.
sit on that?
He
Doesn't
does.
Bill know?
He
You're
does, but-
speculating.
I-
Yeah.
I don't know.
That kind of came out of nowhere.
So does the appointed representative, like, is they sitting on more than one board, or?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so.
I think
I've got
they
the
were
list.
just selected.
Yep. This was right off the email that I was sent, per statute 5918, municipal board appointments. I got Cambridge, Fort Atkinson got 2 people. Cambridge had 1, Johnson's Creek had 1, Jefferson had 1, Waterloo had 1, and Watertown had 1. So, wherever there was a municipal library.
Is this a voting member?
Honestly, they never even said anything about it. Have they been to the meeting yet, or is the first one coming up here in May?
I think, I don't know if she was in, I'll tell you if she was in that meeting. Hold on 1 minute.
I mean, I've got 0, other than they just added
Yeah,
one.
she was at the meeting on the 23rd. So,
So she vote, yeah.
yep, she voted.
because it didn't say that she's like a, what do we call them, the ex officio type people?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was in the library minutes of last month as well. That was in our packet. March
Technically-
26th.
Technically, she got voted in, so she did not do one vote, and it started on May 1st. So the next
Technically,
meeting,
yeah,
technically in May, she'll start probably voting.
yeah. So she just put on, Kelly told you guys this, that the county's planning to make appointments to local library boards based on whatever statute, 4360. So this must be something that they have the option to do that. Library board bylaws will be reviewed at the April board meeting. That's all it says. So, just making accurate records. Don't think I can do anything about it.
Oh, no.
So, hey, they're giving us money.
Seems like a bit of an overreach without
I do too.
any commentary about why.
We've dealt with the county in other projects.
Yeah.
I'm not,
Well, it's not like we needed the approval. I mean, they didn't ask us to vote on this or to approve it, so it's done. It's a state statute, so they have the authority to do it. Maybe it was an oversight in the past, or they're trying to get more involved in the municipalities, I don't know.
Yeah.
So you'll just have to be our eyes and ears to kind of see what's going on.
Yeah, I will. I'll let you know.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what's your pleasure? Go ahead, Joyce.
Cummings will make a motion to approve the ordinance 2025-07.
Austin Cool, second.
Motion by Cummings, second by Austin Cool, to approve ordinance 2025-07, adding the Jefferson County representative to the library board. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
aye.
1 nay.
Actually, 2.
2, oh, you said,
I was a little,
So,
A little slow.
we're clear?
if you want to go again, like,
Oh, that's fine. So you're no. You're no and
Tim is a no.
Tim. Tim, Charlie, still passes, but maybe we can get some more information out of it at the next meeting, just to kind of.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, well, like I said, there really wasn't much I could do with the state statute. All right, recommendations, planning commissions and boards. Planning commission, conditional use 25 Cleveland, home occupation. This is mother-in-law, right? There we go. It's- pardon me?
Brittany's mother-in-law, yeah.
Brittany's mother-in-law, correct. Brittany is the one. So, in your packet, we had a public hearing of which one neighbor showed up, and they were perfectly fine with it. So really, the only thing, the conditional use permit, everything went through, we're on the last checkbox, which is the formality of city council. So everything in your packet kind of shows what they're doing. It's a dog grooming van that actually sits in their backyard. Hours of operations, we kind of went through everything, what the van is, where the signs are going to be in their driveway, it's movable in and out, so lots of detail in here. The reason we had to do that was because ordinance of zoning 385-10-2, number 11, just said, no animals shall be involved in any authorized home occupation. I have no idea why that's there, I have no idea what that means.
Just means you have to get conditional use to
There you go.
have pets, so.
So I don't know why it's in there, if this is standard everywhere else, but that's in there, so therefore they're abiding by it. So the dogs are inside this, they're not running at large, they're not outside, it's one at a time. They've even, what'd you say, we took a seat out to make like a little staging area, the vet somebody
Yeah.
kind of comes late.
So there's a waiting area in the van.
Yeah, they have a lobby, yeah.
A van lobby.
I took my dog there.
She took her dog.
It was
too.
great.
Now, is she still gonna be doing anything, is she the one that was still at hardware store too?
Yes.
Yeah.
But is she intending to not do that anymore and just be at home then? Okay, yeah. So right now it's a mobile dog.
Yeah, I was at the hardware.
Yeah, very good. So yeah, so we didn't have any objection to it. Like I said, we went through, they were very, very detailed in all of their explanations, and they've got a nice big driveway, big backyard, it's kind of secluded back there in the trees. You're one of the neighbors next door, your wife was perfectly fine with it, at least in the-
We have a letter from another neighbor that said
Yes.
they were very,
correct.
they're
Support.
all okay with it.
So there was no objection. So planning commission unanimously approved it, so we are the final step here at council. If you have any questions, they would love to answer it for you. Do you do cats?
Huh?
No, no cats? I have a lot of cats. Do some German, just dogs, all right, just me.
Need a dog?
Nails?
Need a dog?
No.
Well, just trying.
There you go. All right, no questions?
Charles School make a motion to approve the conditional use permit for 425 Cleveland.
Griffin, a second.
Motion by Charlie Cool, second by Griffin, to approve the conditional use for 425 Cleveland home occupation. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We gotta pick up a certificate then.
Your conditional use permit will, we can either mail it or you can stop by and pick it up, whatever works.
Okay, and is there there's a fee, right?
It's already been paid.
Oh, all right,
Yep, yep,
all right.
so.
Can we leave?
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
You don't wanna stay for 5 more minutes?
That's all you got to talk about?
Yeah, we're pretty quiet tonight.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Appreciate all your detail and hard work.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was very detailed.
Yes,
Very
that was
good,
awesome.
yeah.
All right, resolution 2025-24, Public Works here. This is a rescinding resolution, it's just simply a formality. We've been talking road construction projects for a very long time, and we did get Highway 19 moved out. Charlie, Chad, Lana, Barry, and I went through, which you'll see that list a little bit later on the roads. So we're just keeping everything accurate so that we know that the resolution that we had is no longer valid because that road project has been rescinded. We have a lot more to do because that Highway 19, they had some ridiculous numbers in there, so I need new drawings, new plans. I'm not signing any more agreements until they get it crystal clear. Because we may or may not be doing the whole urban cross-section because they have it out there at 2.3 or $2.2 million for a very small section of road, so. So anyway, so this is just keeping records accurate. It has nothing to do with anything other than we're moving the project.
Where will make the motion to rescind resolution 2025-24?
Griffin, a second.
Motion by Wire, second by Griffin to approve.
Wait, let me restate that, because I
Certainly.
misspoke.
Okay,
Where will move to approve resolution 2025-24, rescinding resolution 2025-08.
correct,
Thank you for allowing the
Yep.
correction.
yes, no problem. All right, so as stated, you're just simply rescinding it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now, Richard 2025-25. We have the pedestrian bridge.
Yeah, the pedestrian bridge, the cost estimates for engineering work and bid letting were, they seemed a little high, so we deferred it at Public Works until we can gather more information.
So this will be deferred. Do we have to motion that? No. Nope, just deferred.
We don't have to take action because it never really
Yeah.
officially got here.
You got it. All right, and the final thing in your packet is just kind of some updates on the road projects, having since moved out Highway 19 to a couple more years. So this will be going on the website. Like I said, we all went through this. It's the best that we've got for right now. We got a couple of years in there, 30, 31, and 32. We don't know, but every year with storms and whatnot changes things. So we're really hoping this is the schedule we're gonna stick to. We know we're gonna have to borrow for a lot of them, and we're gonna do our best to try and keep the costs down. We do have several years coming up in the right-hand column under notes where some of our debt is dropping off. So timing of these projects is good, so it kind of keeps your levy this way versus up and down and up and down. So we know we got a lot of bad roads, but getting Highway 19 moved out helps us be able to do some of our very horrible interior roads like Van Buren Street.
Okay. And we got a nice pavement patch on 19. That was
Yes,
monster.
and that was incredible. So when I called him and told him we'd like to move it out, and I said, by the way, the only bad spot is front of Quick Trip, they called him, and within 2 weeks, one call, that's all. I know, had to do that. And it's fixed. I'm like, yay, so, happy about that. They haven't lined it yet, have they?
No, I'm assuming they're waiting for paper temperatures to warm up and
Yeah,
ambient air
that's fine.
temperatures
So-
above 60.
So that road is by far not the worst road, so. So anyway, so this will get posted on the website so everybody can see it. Parking paths and that other document is, Chad goes around and they kind of inspect all of these things, and that helps us decide what parking lots, what paths, what different things that we gotta fix. And we also know the park is really bad too, and that's a whole other conversation, how we fix that road. So,
Motion to adjourn. Unless you have something else.
We're not.
We're not there?
Yeah. So this was approved by Public Works, so I think we probably have to motion to approve here too, because he did it at Public Works.
To approve,
Yeah,
I'll make that motion to
well,
approve.
there you go.
The future street and sidewalk work.
Austin Cool, second.
All right, motion by Thomas, second by Austin Cool to approve the future street and sidewalk work. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried. Future agenda items and announcements, we've got the truck thing starting tomorrow, right?
Yeah, the truck collegiate race will be tomorrow. That'll be starting in Hubbleton, going down County Road G onto some township roads out of our jurisdiction. And Saturday, they'll be starting approximately 8 AM. They'll have, or Saturday, sorry. Saturday, they'll have McKay totally blocked off. They'll be leaving truck headquarters, heading down State Highway 19 to Waterloo Road to start their road course race.
I thought there was in Waterloo from 3 to 6 or something like that tomorrow. We got those road closed signs over by McKay.
Maybe that's
for setup.
That's set up.
Okay, so there's nothing happening on O? Wow, they really changed it.
Well,
Yes, Saturdays will be on O,
But not Friday.
but not Friday.
Okay, good.
Friday will be basically out Island, out that area
They really changed that route.
in
Yeah.
Hubbleton.
And just for future note, the post office called me today, we should probably include them. I told her going forward, I'll make sure she gets that information when there are races and street closings. She just said it would be helpful for the people delivering, so I'll do a better job of that in the future. I told her I didn't
Never
even
even thought
consider
that,
it, so.
I contacted Truck today and advised them to contact the school for the bus routes as well.
Right.
What's the difference? They walk the road anyways.
Not in the country. If they're driving it, yeah. All right, anybody have anything else?
Yeah, let the bicycles deliver the mail.
Let the what?
Let the bicycles deliver the mail.
Yeah, right.
There you go, very fast. Swing.
Wayne.
Charles Cool make a motion to adjourn.
Austin for the second.
Motion by Charlie, second by Austin Cool to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No one ever. Have a good night.